Donald Trump has escalated his battle with Democrat-led cities. Over the weekend, he authorized 300 National Guard troops for Chicago, even as a federal judge temporarily blocked his attempt to send troops into Portland. The move has ignited a national clash over presidential power, state sovereignty, and the limits of military force on US soil. Chicago has been a flashpoint for weeks. Immigration raids under Operation Midway Blitz have already sparked outrage and street protests. On Saturday, things turned more violent. According to reports, federal agents said a woman rammed her car into a Border Patrol vehicle. A DHS official claimed she was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. She was shot, hospitalized, and later taken into FBI custody. Another person was also arrested. Both now face federal charges.
You're protecting the people who are kidnapping children.
That same day, the White House announced Trump's order: 300 Illinois National Guard members to protect federal officers and assets. It is the first time in more than half a century that a president has federalized state troops over the objections of a governor. Illinois Governor JB Pritzker says he was given an ultimatum: call up your troops or we will. Pritzker called the deployment a manufactured performance, insisting Illinois law enforcement was already managing protests. On CNN, he accused Trump of staging a crisis for political gain.
When they raided a building in the middle of the night in South Shore, 130 people that were emptied out of this building, they were going after a few gang members, and instead they broke windows, they broke down doors, they ransacked the place, and there were people that were held, elderly people and children zip-tied. Elderly people held for 3 hours at a time. They are the ones that are making it a war zone. They need to get out of Chicago. If they're not going to focus on the worst of the worst, which is what the president said they were going to do, they need to get the heck out.
So let's talk about that. The federal agents this week carrying out this massive nighttime raid on this apartment complex in Chicago. Reportedly, they used drones, helicopters, military-style vehicles. A Border Patrol officer told the New York Times that snipers rappelled down to the roof of the building during the raid from a helicopter. What more can you tell us about this raid?
Well, let me also mention that the Border Patrol shouldn't be there either. They're claiming that the shores of Lake Michigan are the border of the United States, and therefore they should be in Chicago. They belong on the borders, truly on the borders, and where there may be some mayhem that they need to deal with, but it's not in the city of Chicago. What happened at that building is shameful. Our Department of Children and Family Services are investigating what happened to those children who were zip-tied and held, some of them nearly naked, in the middle of the night. And again, elderly people being thrown into a U-Haul for 3 hours.
We're talking about a double.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson echoed the criticism, warning that the president's move undermines trust and inflames tensions. Critics also raised fears of racial profiling as federal agents in military gear patrolled immigrant-heavy neighborhoods.
What I can say is that what this president is doing is antithetical to what we stand for as a nation, and that it's incumbent upon all of us, regardless of your political stripes, to push back against someone who clearly does not respect our Constitution. This president is dangerous, absolute dangerous, and he is a threat to our democracy and our humanity.
In Brighton Park and Broadview, protesters clashed with ICE agents outside detention facilities. Legal observers described tear gas, rubber bullets, flashbangs, and armed agents in camouflage. The Cook County Sheriff's Office confirmed arrests around the ICE facility, as residents reported raids where federal agents stormed apartments, zip-tying citizens, including children, and pulling them from their homes. In Portland, Trump's playbook met a legal wall. A federal judge, Karen Immergut, herself a Trump appointee, ruled that protests at Portland's ICE facility pose no danger of rebellion. She said the president had exceeded his constitutional authority, warning that the move blurred the line between civil and military power. When Trump tried to sidestep the ruling by sending California and Texas Guard troops instead, the judge expanded her order, blocking any National Guard deployment to Oregon for now. Oregon's governor, Tina Kotek, called Trump's claims untethered to the facts, adding, "The only threat we face is to our democracy, led by the president."
We do not need or want federal troops in Oregon, stoking fear, creating conflict, and frankly escalating a situation that is under control. Any federal takeover with military troops in our state is a threat to communities across Oregon. It violates our right to govern ourselves. It interferes with local law enforcement's ability to fulfill their mission. And frankly, it drains taxpayer resources that could be better spent elsewhere. And again, I communicated that to the president directly. Oregon is our home. It is not a military target. Any deployment would be an abuse of power and a misuse of federal troops.
This is not just about Chicago and Portland. In recent months, Trump has sent or threatened troops to Washington, Los Angeles, Memphis, and New Orleans. In Memphis, his SAFE task force is already operating with federal agents and National Guard in the field. The president has defended his strategy as a war from within, even telling top generals that US cities should be training grounds for troops. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Trump's advisors openly describe cities like Chicago as war zones. The White House has already filed appeals against rulings in Oregon and California. Illinois has hinted it may sue as well. The bigger question is, who controls the US's National Guard? Governors say these are state militias meant for emergencies, not presidential political theatre. Trump insists he has full authority to use them against what he calls domestic terrorists.
Fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.